Good evening, Dylan. It is Wednesday, April 1st. Well, technically it's Thursday, April 2nd. Your video covered a lot of good topics about how, in the aftermath of some sort of great destruction, such as an empire collapsing, there's a bunch of chaos and turmoil that follows through, and how this sudden change of pace or change of lifestyle can leave people feeling incredibly confused or hopeless, or just not quite sure what they're doing with their lives anymore, because the whole status quo has now changed. What used to give them meaning doesn't anymore. While we were talking about stuff like that, all I could really think about, well, being a history major I'm sure helped tremendously for this, was Europe after the collapse of Rome. What we understand as Europe is the Dark Ages, this mess of countries just constantly bickering back and forth over who should be in control anymore, is all I think of whenever I hear about something great and powerful collapsing. Whether it's a business or a country or anything in any kind of story that we have ever discussed as a species. That's all I ever think about, is how these little people that now have a chance to take over and fill the power vacuum will try. There's nothing there keeping everybody in check, so everybody goes crazy. Maybe crazy's not the right word, but they definitely do act far less controlled than they did before. Almost irrational compared to the way that they acted just before this big event occurred. The internet is giving people somewhat of a similar capability. Not with necessarily with the ability to topple governments like you said, but with the fact that it's created this whole new capability, this whole new this whole new source of influence that we can use, we as a species can use. And without it, people seem to lose touch with who they are. They don't know how to function properly anymore. At least in any part of the world that has the internet, which as far as I know is the majority of it anymore. But if you go a day or two without internet connection on your phone or a computer, or just walking down the street and picking up a Wi-Fi signal, most people seem to go pretty absurd. I mean, they act completely out of character because their whole world has been ruined. They've lost that connection to that which they view as a piece of their identity. In our world, we don't even have to wait for a giant, powerful entity to collapse. All we have to do is basically turn off somebody's ability to get to the internet, and we can see how they would react in that kind of environment, which is kind of a evil idea, I guess. That evil capability, I guess, is mirrored in our ability to communicate with all kinds of others around the world who are attempting to overthrow oppressors or topple governments that they feel are corrupt. Or maybe even just as simple as spread other people's secrets around that really nobody else needs to know, but they just want to hurt them for whatever reason. So yeah, I guess the internet does have a lot of potential to bring ruin, but just like everything else that humans are involved in, it has just as much chance to bring good with it. Guess I'll see you on Friday. Bye.